Do you want to learn how to make marshmallows using honey? In this video, we're going to cover the recipe and how to make your own marshmallows using honey, water, and gelatin. Hey Sugar Snaps, welcome to the Textile Indie YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and here on the channel we're doing a Vlogmas series where we're covering tutorials and projects that are holiday themed and handcrafted. Today is a recipe video. We're going to go over how to make marshmallows using some simple ingredients including honey and gelatin. These make really delightful fluffy marshmallows that are fun to make and fun to eat. They work great in hot cocoa and just as a sweet treat on their own. I usually coat my marshmallows with arrowroot powder in order that they aren't overly sweet, but you can coat them with powdered sugar if you prefer a sweeter treat. And now for the recipe. The ingredients you need for this marshmallow recipe are half a cup of cold water, 1 cup of honey, a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 3 tablespoons of gelatin. You're also going to need a stand mixer or a hand beater. You could also use a whisk if you want to do this totally by hand. You're also going to need a small saucepan. In your mixing bowl, we're going to add the half a cup of cold water and the 3 tablespoons of gelatin. And then we're going to swish this around to get the gelatin wet. And then allow this to sit for 10 minutes to allow the gelatin to bloom in the bowl. Now in your small saucepan, add an additional 1/4 cup of water, cold water, to the saucepan, and then pour in the 1 cup of honey. And you can use a spatula to get all of the honey out of your measuring cup. And now you'll stir slightly to combine the water and the honey, but you'll do this more on the heat. Place the saucepan on the stove over medium heat, and you're going to stir it constantly until it comes to a boil. Allow it to boil for 3 minutes, and then you'll remove it from the heat, let it cool for about 2 minutes, and then we'll add it to the gelatin mix. Once you've added the gelatin mixture and the honey mixture together here in your mixing bowl, you're going to put a lid on here and start out slow, stirring at a slower speed, and then build it up until you're whipping pretty fast, because you want this to turn white and fluffy and create stiff peaks. So I'm going to start out slow to get the mixture started to mix, combining the gelatin without creating too many splashes, and then I'll build up the speed. At this point, you're also going to add your vanilla and the pinch of salt to mix into your marshmallow mixture. Rather than pouring the marshmallow fluff straight into a pan, I like to line my pan with parchment paper, and I use a 9x13 baking dish. I line it with parchment paper, cutting the corners to try to fit it into the shape more evenly, and then I coat the bottom with arrowroot powder so that once the fluff has kind of set overnight, it will be easier to get out of the parchment paper. So I line that, lay in the arrowroot powder, and then once your marshmallow fluff is ready, you can pour this into your pan, and then we'll let it sit overnight to kind of cure and stiffen up a bit. You'll continue to mix until your marshmallow fluff starts to look like this, and you want stiff peaks. So if you poke your finger or a spoon in there and it peaks up, but then squishes back or falls over, that's a soft peak. Continue to mix it until the peaks stay put. Don't forget to lick the mixer. Is delicious. Our last step is to pour the marshmallow fluff into the baking sheet. We're not actually baking these marshmallows. You're going to pour it in, lay it out evenly, and then allow this to stiffen up overnight. I usually leave these uncovered on my kitchen counter, and that allows them to, they sort of dehydrate just a little bit and stiffen up a little bit more so that when you go to cut them, they're nice and fluffy and have a great texture. So tomorrow you'll be able to come in, open or pull out the marshmallows off of the parchment, and then start to cut them into pieces. They are going to be very sticky, so coat them in powdered sugar or arrowroot powder, whichever you chose, and that will keep the surface from sticking to your knife, your fingers, and everything else. So once they're all coated, then they're ready to serve. These make great little friendship gifts if you make up a little package of marshmallows and give away marshmallows and a hot cocoa mix. They're also great for holiday parties as an addition to your hot cocoa or just as a holiday treat. So they make a very fun, very holiday themed dessert to add to your table. In January, we'll be doing a creative challenge here on the Textile and E channel, where I will be sharing thoughts on how to create or develop a creativity practice in your daily routine, as well as knock out some works in progress as we walk through the videos together. So sign up for our email list. You can do that with the QR code or the link in the description below, and we will be producing that in January. You'll get an email notifying you when that comes out. Thanks so much for watching this video. Until tomorrow's Vlogmas video, happy making. See you then. Bye.